Greetings, everyone. My name is Buck Business. Konnichiwa. I'm Kawaii Critic. And today we're here to review My Little Pony Season 7, Episode 11, Not Asking for Trouble. And after last week's episode and the week episodes prior, we didn't think there would be a weaker episode to end off the little hiatus we're going to be having, but it does seem like that will be the case here, unfortunately. We were also looking forward to seeing a good episode with the axe and getting an interesting moral about tradition, so I guess we're just going to have to wait on both of those things to happen later on, hopefully. So we start off this episode with Pinky-san saying that she, quote, got invited to this party or festival from the axe, only to find out that she insisted time and time again via messaging that she really wanted to be invited. So she has Twilight-san induct her into some sort of ranking of the Yak society, or makes her the ambassador or something along those lines, and that little part does seem a bit unnecessary based off of the ending of the episode, so it could have probably just cut that part out and just have it be the invite part or whatever. In fact, based on the whole opening, I think you could have probably just started in the Yak village and saved us a whole bunch of time. I mean, even their journey over was just, at least in our opinion, a little bit boring. So, we head on over, finally, and we get a little taste of their traditions, and they're completely lackluster. So, Pinkie Pie breaks a twig, and the prince decides that he's gonna yell at her for doing this, only to find out that it was just some sort of prank and that it was nothing really. Now, what would have made this joke probably a bit funnier, at least in our opinion, is if the item in question actually looked like an important relic. And to make it even more interesting, perhaps after the whole prank, we could have seen that there actually was an important relic for the axe, something that they actually did hold sacred. That way, we could have appreciated an actual tradition that actually has weight and meaning to it, instead of just doing things to do things. Yeah, I mean, they dance to music just to dance to music. They fall asleep a certain way just to fall asleep a certain way. All of these traditions don't really have any reasoning, so they just don't really mean anything. Take, for example, The Last Samurai. There is a scene where we're taught about the cup tea ceremony, and we're seen and shown why it's important. This lady explains the importance of each step and why it has been passed down, and so on and so forth. The weight of the tradition is expanded through this explanation, so getting an explanation here felt a little bit more necessary. And I know that show don't tell is usually the case, but I think there are times and exceptions to break that rule, and here was definitely a time and a place. So, we waste a whole lot of time just to get to the actual conflict of this episode, which to us has nothing to do with tradition, unfortunately, and more so has to do with actual pride. So, they go right back to their stomping, and they say to go even more at it, more ferocious, which causes an avalanche. And here comes the issue where Pinkie Pie is trying to show the others that it's okay to ask for help, not trouble, for help. And the prince declines each offering, even through each different means that Pinkie Pie tries to explain why it'd be okay to ask for help. And the rest of the episode just kind of meanders through this whole story that Pinkie Pie has set up, or just trying to agree that the snow will taste great for the ponies to come in and help. And even after that explanation, the prince still refuses to get help, I should say. And it goes on, up until Pinkie Pie leaves back to Ponyville. We waste even a bit more time just seeing her travel back, but she does get the help of others, so at least that's something. And her help is in stealth, so they go into the night and do all their work up until the morning, and then they get ready to leave, just to get this weird, bizarre ending, just completely out of nowhere, where the Yak sees Pinkie Pie just leave, and he says that she understands their tradition. This makes no sense. So wait, are you telling me that pride is a part of their tradition? That makes no sense. Yeah, I mean, none of the other yaks even were presented in that way. Where is this whole pride is their entire tradition even coming from? It seems to make sense for the prince, but everyone else? We even saw that the younger yaks, or the littler yaks, I'm not sure if they were kids or not, they sounded old, a little older anyway. But even they didn't seem prideful, they seemed like they wanted to get help and get rid of the snow. So, where is this whole thing coming from? It makes no sense. Yes, the prince's words just completely out of nowhere, completely out of context, and just doesn't really add up. So, it is unfortunate, but this is definitely easily the weakest episode in this entire season. And there could have been so many different ways to fix this problem. First and foremost, one of the ways you could have fixed it and made the moral about tradition is actually have Pinkie Pie still being a little bit, crazy and over the top and being, Pinkie Pie, and having that conflict with the X traditional ways. And having those understandings come through to some sort of arrival and understanding. But no, we don't get that at all. We get Pinkie Pie trying her best, which, oddly enough, kind of hurts this episode, at least in our opinion. And the actual conflict itself, again, it just doesn't add up. It just seems, at least the way it was written, that from the prince, that yes, pride was a part of their tradition. So it just feels so bizarre, so odd. And it just sort of leaves a bad taste in the mouth when you hear this. And you just think, why didn't the yaks actually just ask to get help the other yaks? I mean, it didn't seem like the prince was necessarily gonna do anything or get angry. He doesn't seem like that type of character. And again, he seems like the only one that actually seems to have this pride issue, so it's so bizarre is what it is, and it seems like there could have been other ways to fix it, even if they were to keep this moral. Perhaps by making the prince more intimidating, perhaps? Or maybe having, I don't know, Yeah, just have the prince be more intimidating. I think that would have been the best course of action to solve that aspect of this episode. But we've been at this for a while, and there isn't much more else to say, so we'll end this review here. And if you somehow enjoyed it, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, farewell, everyone. Well, I might as well say it. Stick top, ting tom tori. And to everyone else, bye!